Hello, welcome to another episode of Lucky Hit Podcast. The Lucky Hit Podcast.
Yeah, I think we just call it Lucky Hit Podcast, but
okay.
There's no D.
Okay,
D is silent.
Episode number 49, which is cool. That's good. I am Murry Curry.
Close to a milestone.
No.
I'm not saying this one is. I'm not saying this one's a milestone. I'm saying it's almost a milestone.
Always
Next time.
I'm Murry Curry and I enjoy. I'm joined by Flattheyounger
And the Gaga Man.
Yep. Just
And Sims.
You need to mention what I'm playing.
Marcia Briggs is in the corner playing Sims again. I don't know why I'm very animated. I think I'm trying to keep myself going.
No one can see you, so there isn't
We're all
much
very
point.
tired today. It's been a long week. Yep. What? What's? I just said it's been a long week.
Progressing you from
I get sworn at. So, got another great, fun, fueled, energetic podcast.
Clearly.
It's going to be more fun than 20 episodes of SMTV Live all crammed together.
So it's going to be like a razor blade enema. With no sweets at the end of it.
No sweets at the end.
Well, I
How
usually
many
get
razor blade enemas have you had that have got sweet?
I usually get sweets at the end of normal enemas.
Phil, I think you really need to report somebody for sexual abuse in that case.
He's not even a doctor.
It is a bit weird how I always had to wear a blindfold. Doctor always stands really close behind me as well.
This is going to get worse.
I think he might be fucking me up the arse.
Okay. Let's have a song, and then we're going to come back with the rest of the podcast.
At least I get sweets though.
We're back in a sec.
That was First Circuit from the Mega Drive version of Smash TV.
First come,
It's not
first
Super
circuit.
Smash TV.
I think it's Super Smash TV, or
Yeah.
at least the console ones were. I don't know about the arcade one.
Okay, yeah, Super
But,
Smash
yeah.
TV, an absolute classic. And it was done by Matt Furness. Weird name.
Yeah.
Fat minus.
And I mean, you know, iconic tune from an iconic game. I mean, that has been ported on everything. I think
It was definitely back then. It was, yeah. I mean, I can't really go back to the old ports of it now because you really need like 2 sticks for that game to like play it well. And like on the Mega Drive, Mega Drive it was really weird.
Yeah, I have a Mega Drive fixation, so I like to say the Mega Drive version is my favourite, but it's not really. I think you use the arcade version.
Yeah, you can get that on like a PS2 collection and a PS1 collection as well.
It was on the Xbox 360 for a little while.
Oh, was it?
I think it got pulled.
Oh, that'll probably be because Midway shut down, and then
Yeah.
all the rights to all the different franchises sort of went all over the place. I think most of them are owned by Warner Brothers now, but I don't know about some of them. I think some of them got bought out by someone else. I don't know, but I think Warner Brothers generally owns a majority of Midway stuff.
Oh right.
So yeah,
It's an absolute cracking classic, but just certain versions I'm convinced are just impossible.
I think all the versions were because like the arcade game was deliberately impossible.
Well, it's just that on that arcade port on the 360, I remember there being achievements like, you know, finish the game on 1 credit or something. In other words, you're never going to get it, give up.
Yeah. No. Did you ever play the sequel, Total Carnage?
No, I never.
You should play that. It's on one of those Midway treasure collections on the PS2. It's actually really good. It's not in like an arena like that one was. It's still like a sort of game show, but then it sort of turns into this whole story with this dictator guy who's clearly supposed to be a Nazi, and he just rants in between the levels. And when you get to the end of the game, he's just like this giant disembodied head jumping around, and you shoot him so much, and then he just reveals to be Hitler. It's like they pretend it's, you know, they give you like this fake like semi-Nazi guy, and then they just make him Hitler at the end. It's like, were they just not allowed to use Hitler from the beginning? It's like, oh, if we put Hitler in the game from the very start, people will get offended and get it banned. We'll just put Hitler at the very end of the game that no one's going to get to without like putting £500 into the machine, because it's that same kind of difficulty where things just kill you off screen.
It's like Blind Command there, isn't it? The last boss to that is Hitler.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm sure they just put them right at the end of the game, just so because they don't expect anyone to get that far.
Because again, they don't mention him at all. It's just some Well, even in Total Carnage, it was like ranting in like a fictional language and stuff, and it was so obviously like a Hitler thing. And then but once you like get to the end and like you shoot enough of him off, like it shows the little moustache and all that. So yeah. Oh, this guy that's exactly like Hitler was Hitler after all. And you generalise. Oh.
Yeah. So yeah.
So that's that.
That's that. It's a really good game though, Total Carnage. It's definitely more of Smash TV, but like it's not like a square grid. You're actually scrolling upwards, kind of like Commando and those kind of games, Akari Warriors, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Excellent.
So.
Yeah, sorry, I was saying about how certain versions are just ridiculous. You know, about that whole thing where Master System games were really badly ported because they only had like 3 months to make the game.
God, yeah, they just
I'm pretty
churned
sure that
games
was
out.
one of them.
Yeah, they just churned games out on that in some cases. Like,
some games suffered so much, like the Double Dragon port. It looked pretty
I think a lot of people say that one's not too bad though.
I don't know, maybe it's just me, but
the Mega Drive version was crap, but
there was I've played that.
It's really bad.
I just didn't gel with the Master System version. I thought it was a bit too.
I think I still have a copy of that knocking around.
Was,
oh God, what the hell did they do there?
I don't know.
And like Altered Beast on the Mega Drive was always shit, but the Master System version's even worse. It's really awful.
What's wrong?
So I just looked up and saw your Sims crash. Oh,
activate Windows.
Sodding activate Windows. We do have a legit copy of Windows.
We just reinstalled.
Can you not do that? That'd be grand.
You would be such a dick. That would be perfect.
Let's not have a domestic on the podcast.
Okay, so what we got for news?
Quite a lot actually, because pretty much I've noticed this happens almost every time we do a podcast. We do a podcast and go, oh, there's barely any news. I scrape together some crap, and then the next day, loads of stuff happens.
Scrape together some crap.
Basically, yeah.
I mean, it was that bad last week.
No, it wasn't too bad.
Remember the old crap?
Well.
Bring it up.
Yeah, I'll just shovel up the old news.
Instead of news.
The olds. Yeah.
Oh,
This is the olds.
Someone wakes it up.
Mega Drive came out today. Yeah.
no one's buying it.
I thought the Mega Drive did alright, didn't it?
Yeah.
Mega
did
Drive
it.
was okay. Yeah,
Yeah, it
Master
did
System and nobody wanted.
Well, except Brazil.
Yeah.
Anyway, pretty much straight after we did the last podcast, the next day it was like, oh, by the way, there's a new Wonder Boy coming out.
That news, honestly, that made my. It was the first thing I saw in the morning. No, sorry, you did mention it the night before, but I guess it just didn't compute in my mind.
Yeah,
And then
maybe.
the next morning I saw they were sharing some stuff of it, and I was like,
Yeah. Basically, there's a new Wonder Boy Monster World game coming out without the name because it's not being made with Sega. Sega's got the name, brand rights, whatever, and it was a company called Westone that developed them, wasn't it? And there was lots of complications with it splitting off into two other series, and then they did all alternative versions, and then there were hacked versions in Brazil that replaced the characters with fucking Brazilian cartoon characters, where the sword was replaced with a kid holding a rabbit. Wonder Boy's a very confusing series, but basically, the new Wonder Boy is called Monster Boy, so they've obviously taken Wonder Boy, Monster World, and it's called Monster Boy and the Wizard of Booze. And just like every other Wonder Boy game, this has ended up having a really interesting bit of history because this game actually didn't start out as a Wonder Boy game; it started out as a Wonder Boy clone. It's been developed by a company called Game Rouge-ier or something like that. I don't know how you pronounce it. I think they're like a French developer or something. But they made a game on PSN called Flying Hamster, which was sort of a cutesy shmup. It's really good. It plays a bit like Proteus and that kind of stuff. And you're just flying around as like this cutesy little hamster that like vomits orange juice and stuff at enemies. And they started kickstarting a sequel, which was basically Wonder Boy.
Right.
It is basically. They even said it in the Kickstarter. They said this is our spiritual tribute to the Monster World series and all that kind of stuff. And it was just like a Dragon's Trap on the Master System where you transform one into different animals.
Right.
That is probably the best Wonder Boy game, anyway, isn't it? Dragon's Trap.
My
did you ever play
favourite
that
is
one?
the second, but Dragon's Trap is awesome.
Yeah, Dragon's Trap is fucking brilliant.
It was much bigger and more grand and complex.
Yeah, and
and
you
it
change
probably,
into like a mouse.
it's probably
and
just because I
dragon and stuff.
get to, you know,
Yeah.
stuck in my ways.
Yeah.
I prefer the second one, but
Oh,
the
yeah.
third one was amazing.
But, so they did this Kickstarter for Flying Hamster 2, this Wonder Boy style game.
Yeah.
And then about halfway through it, they cancelled it.
Oh.
But they said, we're not cancelling it because we're giving up on it. We're cancelling it because someone's talking to us and we're probably going to have... basically, yeah. In fact, a lot of people didn't even realise that when this was announced that that's what it was. It's basically that Flying Hamster game retooled into an actual official...
Yeah.
Technically official...
Just Western.
Yeah, just the creator of the series is actually collaborating with this. I think they're French. I don't want to assume, but they're definitely European of some sort. These developers, and yeah, they're actually collaborating with the creator of the Wonder Boy series to make it a legit thing. Obviously, it's not legit as in like the actual brand, the Wonder Boy, but it's gonna actually be apparently officially part of, it's technically part of the timeline and all that kind of stuff. Kind of like how Monster World 4, the one with that other character, was completely different. Had completely different characters. It was only really the same in name and gameplay style, really. Yeah. But yeah, that's personally my favourite one of the series. Like when that finally came out, and you should really grab that on Xbox Live.
Oh, I have it.
Oh, you have
I've
got
been
it.
playing through it. Yeah.
Oh, have you?
Absolutely
Oh, right.
love it. Yeah.
Yes. I fucking love that
I just
game.
haven't quite finished it. I stopped playing at the time for some reason.
Yeah.
I think I was chasing at the same time. I was chasing achievements on Wonder Boy 1 and getting pissed off.
Oh god, yeah.
I love the
Oh,
Wonder
the
Boy
first
series, but
Monster
that,
World.
Yeah, that first arcade game is a
Oh
dick.
yeah, that one's a pain in the ass. It's like you're making an RPG, but it's an arcade game, so it has to
It's
deliberately.
a cool idea, but yeah.
So it just deliberately screws you over in a lot of ways.
And it's one of those games where to do really well on it, you have to look up all the silly secrets, like very specific places.
Yeah,
to
you just have to
stand.
jump in certain places for things to appear and all that kind of stuff.
Not quite really good equipment. And it's just fucking piss off. It's just one of the plays of Wonder Boy.
Yeah, you're going to notice a pattern with the news this week because the last 2 weeks there has been a lot of news like what I just mentioned.
Yeah.
So not only was there the new Wonder Boy, there's also going to be a new Toejam Earl.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not hear that.
This hasn't really been like a big official announcement. Basically, the developers, I can't remember what their company's called now, but they used to just be called the Toejam Earl Productions, but now they've got a new name. They did a game on the PlayStation 3 called Doki Doki Universe, which I haven't played yet, but apparently Toejam Earl make a cameo in it.
Oh.
And it's kind of like a similar kind of quirky style game where you play as some kind of alien, and it's got like this sort of like Stickman style to it. I haven't played it yet, but I do want to pick that up at some point. But yeah, they've one of the guys that works there, who was basically the creator of Toejam Earl, he set up a Toejam Earl Facebook page.
Right.
He basically. They actually own Toejam Earl because Sega doesn't actually own Toejam Earl.
Right.
The creator owns it himself. He actually owns the rights to it. That's why they couldn't get Toejam Earl into Sonic and All Stars Racing because they really wanted to try and get that in, but there was loads of complications trying to get the rights.
Right.
So because that's one of those few franchises that Sega owns that they don't actually own. They don't own any of it.
Yeah, because they made a vintage.
They have to license. Yeah. They had to license it off. I think it's Greg. I think the guy that owns it. But yeah, he's set up a Facebook page, and in the last few weeks, he's been posting up photos of like sketches and stuff. And he basically just said, "We're making a new one." And he just said, "Oh, by the way, we're working on a new Toejam Earl. It's going to be indie. It might be a Kickstarter or some kind of like crowdfunding thing. But they're basically going indie because they've for years been trying to pitch a new one to both Sega and other companies. Because again, Sega doesn't own it, so they could take Toejam Earl to anyone. They could take it to Nintendo, but they've tried for years. I remember seeing concept art for they were. Pitching a DS Toejam Earl, and it was going to be in the style of the first game, but using the 2 screens and all that. Cool. And they didn't have any luck trying to get funding for stuff. So, but obviously now there's like Kickstarter and all that kind of stuff. They're going to try again on their own, basically, because now they've got this studio that's done the game for Sony and all that kind of stuff. Obviously they don't have a publisher or anything like that yet, but they're basically going to try and self-create it all themselves and self-publish it. So yeah, that's hopefully going to happen soon. Apparently we might find out more in a few weeks, so hopefully next time we do a podcast we might know something about it.
That's amazing.
So yeah, there's that. And just the other day apparently a bunch of people from Rare have formed a new company, and they're working on a Banjo-Kazooie spiritual sequel, apparently. Apparently, if you read the latest issue of Edge, they've actually got a few little bits of concept art, not of the main characters. They've just got like this teaser image of all these leaves, and then you can just about see their eyes and a sort of silhouette of the characters. They're not like it's definitely like a duo of characters, but it's not a bear and a bird. It looks like it might be like a gecko or a chameleon or some kind of lizard, and then no idea what the other creature is. All you can see is some boggly eyes, and then you can see like another pair of eyes and sort of like a silhouette of what looks like some kind of lizard.
Okay.
But they reckon they pretty much just flat out said, "Oh, this is our spiritual sequel to Banjo-Kazooie." So
I love how you can do that. Like
it's getting that way, isn't it? That's happening a lot now.
I love the way that you can legally actually say that though. This is going to be a spiritual success.
Well, yeah. They're basically saying this is what
Banjo-Kazooie would be if we had the rights to Banjo-Kazooie, but we don't, so we just swap the characters out. It's basically not Mega Man.
Yeah.
This is becoming a thing now.
It's sort of
After
set up
the
a trend,
massive,
doesn't it?
yeah, it's a big trend because Mighty Number 9 did so well on, I think it was Indiegogo or something like that.
Yeah.
So not Mega Man is I don't really know what to think of Mighty Number 9. All the stuff I've seen of it lately kind of looks a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like when they were first showing it off and they were showing concept art of like screenshot mock-ups and stuff, it looked amazing. But then when you see the actual what they're saying now, like the trailers of like what they're saying is like near final build,
Right.
it doesn't really look that.
Oh.
I don't know, like visually. I mean, I'm sure it probably plays good, but I mean, it just kind of looks like it needs a bit more polish,
Right.
kind of thing. I mean,
Do you know what? Even though I'm a Mega Man nut, I haven't really been following it. Actually.
yeah. I don't know. It's basically Mega Man with an extra mechanic to it, I think.
Yeah.
And then Indie Creates also made their own not Mega Man X game on the 3DS, which you're gonna want to probably pick up at some point. That looks really cool, actually. And then they did like if you downloaded it. Like within the first week, you've got this free NES style game that's basically NES Mega Man. And it's like a crossover of Mighty Number 9 and this other one, which I forget the name of,
Is it not
Gunvolt.
available to get any other way?
I'm not sure. I think they might have made it like a separate download now. I'm not sure, but I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, they basically made not Mega Man, not Mega Man X, and then they did a crossover of both those not Mega Mans in Mega Man 8-bit style with some other franchise thrown in for good measure. So yeah, there's a lot of this going on. Just in the last 2 weeks, there's 3 games that have been announced that are basically, we wanted to make this game, but the company won't let us, so we're just going to make it anyway. Well, in the case of Toejam Earl, it's different because they're not making a not Toejam Earl. They're actually making Toejam Earl because they own it, but they're not making it with Sega because, well, we'll get back to Sega in a minute. We'll get back to what's been going on with them in a minute.
I think I know what you're going to say with Sega news.
Yeah. So yeah, there's been a lot of that, basically. Lots of revivals of old franchises without the actual IP attached to them, but basically the same thing. I mean, the Monster Boy one basically looks exactly like...
Yeah.
I mean, when you look at the first screenshots, it's even got some of the enemies directly out of the original games. So, you know, like exact same enemies. So, it's just... Yeah. Yeah, what else? Other random funny bit of news is we were going on about like Dragon Ball Z voice acting last week, weren't we? Like,
just a little bit.
Yeah, just a bit. I presume you guys have like watched Dragon Ball Z Abridged quite a bit, or in bits, or
Flat showed me some.
Yeah, I haven't been watching it recently, but I was into it for quite a while back. Basically, the next Dragon Ball Z game, I think it's called Dragon Ball Xenoverse or something like that. It's going to be on current, whatever. It's going to be on both Xboxes and both PlayStations, basically. It's got a character creator in it. You can basically make your own OC, basically. Make your own Gary Stu or whatever. And it's got a voice option, so you can actually pick the character's voice.
Right.
One of the characters is Dragon Ball Z Abridged Nappa. It is literally that voice actor. Just yeah, it's actually him. One of the voices is Nappa from Abridged. Yeah, it is actually the guy. It's quite blatantly him. You can tell it's him. And yeah, it was for some reason, I don't know what it is. It was either a leak or an announcement. But there was like this video online that's just showing all the voices that you can pick and like all the sayings, because when you make a custom character, you can make them learn every other character's moves. So their voices have to shout every single move that exists in Dragon Ball Z. The one that's got what's his name? Well, I don't know what his name is, but the guy that voiced Nappa in Abridged, he says all the names of the moves wrong. Just says stupid shit in the whole thing. So yeah, like a fan thing that's actually found its way into an official product in a way. They obviously approached him or something, because Nappa was like the most famous, popular thing in Abridged. So that's pretty amazing. You just know everyone's just going to make a character that's as close to Nappa as possible, or even a ghost Nappa, just to make a reference to it. And
So I thought that was pretty cool.
That's brilliant.
That's really cool.
Yeah,
Like a fan.
Yeah,
thing
once again,
becoming,
it's
like-
companies actually approaching fans and fan works.
Yeah, basically making money off them. But yeah, basically doing what Sega should have done with Streets of Rage remake.
That still blows my mind.
Yeah.
Sega missed out on an opportunity.
I think one of the other reasons they couldn't just go, oh, we'll just release this, is because it had loads of sprites edited and tinkered from other games, like SNK games and stuff. Yeah, it wasn't all just Streets of Rage assets. So that didn't help either. So yeah, exactly. They didn't really help themselves, but which is a real shame. They could have tweaked it. Yeah, that was the big camel that broke the straw's back. I don't know.
Well, yeah, it's still a bit of a sob story for me because
big
I've never
time.
seen such
Because it was such an
passionate
amazing
project that went on for like nearly a decade.
Oh god, yeah.
And it didn't deserve to be outright just shot down like that. I mean,
especially letting them finish it and then shooting it down. That was really dickish.
For anyone that doesn't know what we're talking about, a group of people, like international group, isn't it?
Yeah.
Called Bomber Games, created a Streets of Rage remake, just called it Saw Remake. And yeah, it took them like 9 years to make. And
Sega were fine with it for all those years.
Yeah.
And then as soon as they tried to release it and technically sell it,
yeah,
then they went, okay, we'll pull in the plug. You can't put this up anywhere.
It really does suck though, because I grabbed it when it was around. I still got it, and I still play
I've got it hanging
It's perfect.
It is an amalgamation of everything from all three games, just
you can
combined.
change every minute detail. You can have the rules from each game, so you can set it all to Streets of Rage 1, where it's all really hard. Like you can't do like dodge rolls, you can't do like charging you, nothing like that.
And you can combine it so you've got all the moves from 3 and the car with the bazooka.
That's right.
Yeah, you get the best of everything.
But not only that, but they perfectly recreated the 3 games. And then they made a 4th route, because they do it like a route through the city.
Oh yeah, of course they did.
And then they made a 4th route, which was like all their own. It was full of other Sega references, like they had Shimu machines, like the Coke machines in the background, tomato convenience stores, loads of Shinobi references. Golden Axe with all the.
There was another, you know that sprite artist who did the artwork for the Scott Pilgrim game and a few other things. Paul Robertson. He did a fan animation, basically a pixel art version of the Simpsons intro.
Oh, right. And
within a day of it being online and getting millions of views, Fox actually contacted them to use it in an episode. Oh, so it's actually going to be at the.
You were going to tell me it was going to get cancelled?
No. They're actually going to use it at the start of an episode.
Wow.
They're actually going to use it as
it was a fan made thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
They said apparently they were hoping something like that might happen. But they didn't expect it to happen within under 24 hours. It was literally 24 hours. Fox were like, guys, this is really cool. Can we use this?
Wow.
I don't know how it works, like money-wise. I presume they pay them in some way. But no idea how it works. I'd like to think so. Or at least, get really good.
Julian doesn't own a phone. You can't call someone without a phone. Why is he in my phone?
What?
Why is she Princess talking to herself?
She's talking. No, she's not talking to herself. She's talking to her Sims. It's completely different.
That's all right then.
They're all sort of linking around in fast speed and dancing and I don't know.
Carry on over there with your big box of cats.
Big box of what?
Cats.
What do you mean, like meow cats?
No, I'm just calling you crazy cat lady.
Crazy sim lady.
I'm not crazy cat lady though.
Crazy sim lady.
I've only got one cat.
And all that bombshell. Where were we?
Yeah, speaking of Streets of Rage, actually. No.
You fell asleep for a long time, that's what happened. I think we got an idea for the thumbnail.
How long's a long time?
About half an hour.
It's been a very long
yeah,
night,
almost
which will
half hour.
be explained in the "What have you been playing" section.
Yeah, speaking of Streets of Rage, there's an Australian rating for 3D Streets of Rage 2.
Yeah.
Does that mean there's
going to be violent, mate?
Does that mean no zombies in it? No. Alright then.
It just says Peggy, blimey.
Yeah. So basically, like when they made the 3DS classics, the second wave of them, they're releasing the second wave of the 3DS Sega classics. They said Thunder Blade was going to be the last one, but now this has shown up. This rating makes it sound like there might be a wave 3. Hopefully, usually those Australian rating board things are usually not wrong at all. Yeah. And it did actually say it was by M2 as well, so it's got to be really. So they're going to do Streets of Rage 2. Apparently, when they did an interview about the first Streets of Rage that they were ported over, they said Streets of Rage 2 would be really complicated because you know how the floor works. It's actually kind of like fake 3D already, like in the game. Right. So, because the characters scroll up and down, but they don't shrink or grow to the depth. Right. But Streets of Rage 2 had levels that went downwards, didn't they, as well? Yeah. So recreating that in 3D would actually be really difficult, but they must have maybe found a way around it. Yeah. It just makes me happy, more 3D classics. I just want them to port those forever. Just every Sega game ever. They could get
arcade and Mega Drive title.
Yeah, just every all the good ones. Don't bother with shit like Altered Beast again. Fucking hell.
I don't get Altered Beast.
I really don't.
Everyone, whenever they do a Sega collection, they're always like, "Go get Altered Beast in there, mate. Don't just get the Mega Drive one. Put the fucking arcade one in there and all, mate."
Yeah, but everyone loves that crusty, outdated piece of shit. It was bad when it came out on the Mega Drive. It was outdated when it came out then, in like 1988. But
let's just hope they don't make a really crap remake of the PS2. Oh, fuck. I saw that game.
I'm assuming they made a really crap remake of the PS2.
It was awful.
Yeah. It only actually came out in Europe. I don't think it actually came out in America.
Anybody want a biscuit?
I love biscuits.
I love biscuits.
I said a biscuit.
I think.
Well, I'll take the biscuit then, won't I?
Yeah. Yep. Taking the right biscuit.
Biscuits.
I think they might be doing another wave of these because Sega have said they're going to start focusing more on digital stuff as opposed to like retail games.
Oh, sorry, did you say Sega?
Yeah.
Well, I heard that they were only going to do mobile and PC.
Well, I don't think that's true at all. They just said they're focusing more on those. Doesn't mean they're strict.
Maybe they're finally going to stop making Sonic games now that they've really conclusively proved that they can't do it anymore.
That wasn't so much Sega though, was it?
No, that was just they outsourced it to some company that didn't know what the fuck they were doing in the case of Sonic Boom.
Fucking McDonald's.
What?
McDonald's can make a Sonic game.
Yeah, let's give it to them.
Sure, we'll make a game.
They can make good toys.
I don't think.
So yeah, basically Sega restructuring, sacking like 300 people, and they're trying to really cut down on
basically it's what happened
like retail stuff
in Europe, here in Europe, wasn't it? They
yeah, they're moving their main Sega of America to, I think it was California or something like that. They're basically moving. What?
He's woken up. So.
Yeah, he's truly awake.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, and sales figures Sega's sales figures from the last year went out today. Apparently, Sonic Boom is the worst launch of a big Sonic game ever. Not including like random Game Gear Sonic games or fucking Sonic Jam on the Gamecom. It probably sold a bit better than that.
I should work for IGN.
Why don't you just make an application that says I should work for IGN? Look forward to
it's on the back of like a Kellogg's box. It said, "Tell us why you should work for IGN," and then I'll put because I can make great headlines, and I'll say, "Looks like there's no chance of a boom in Sonic Boom sales."
Boom in Sonic. Boom.
Looks like it's time to.
Well, like Sonic Bomb.
Sonic Bomb.
Yeah. You know what?
You know what? Sonic's Doom.
This might be really predictable, but I'm fucking glad. I'm glad that game fucking bombed. It will just show
Sonic Boom.
One,
don't outsource. Don't bother outsourcing to a company that hasn't made any games before. Just because it's made up of people from Naughty Dog, they're not at Naughty Dog anymore for a reason, clearly. They're not working on games like Uncharted because they went off and made...
something about some dog running around. I don't know what it was. What was that shit about?
They just bled. You know, they had a good thing going with Sonic Colors, Sonic Generations, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then they decided, we got to reboot it again completely. And then, like, I think, you know what happened? When they announced it, I think they went into that expecting that to be a full reboot of the whole franchise. But when everyone reacted to it, they went, it's a spin-off. It's got no relation to the other stuff. Honest!
It's non-canon.
Quick, change everything around. Don't cancel all those other normal Sonic
Everybody
games.
tell
Everybody.
Chris Chan before he kills himself.
Oh, fucking hell. I wasn't even going to bring him up.
What?
But he's saying the pure reason that game has failed is because of these
blue.
arms are blue.
His
That is clearly the main problem with the game.
Who's this guy?
He's a... We won't even go there. We won't even go there.
He's a...
I want to know who he is.
You don't, honestly. You really don't.
Now, you're intolerant of anyone who's a little bit pointless in their behaviour.
Yeah.
Which I agree with. I'm also intolerant of that. But this guy,
I can't argue with that.
he
That's
takes the
spot
whole
on.
pack of biscuits.
Pretty much. What the hell is going on with your
She had a
Sims?
big snowy poo.
No, she's made some snowmen.
I thought she was like do some weird broken yoga, or
Look.
that she was like hugging a
pile of snow,
penguin. Or
right?
something.
Yeah.
Under her arse.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sitting on the snow.
I've seen Princess Sims look like they do big snowy poos.
I wanted to show how it was painted a penguin, which I thought was.
Oh, I thought that was a penguin. I wasn't sure.
She's so sweet, she shit
Yeah, that-
sherbet. That was like a tongue twister.
Oh,
She's
God.
so sweet, she shits further.
She's so sweet,
I
she
had
shits
this
the
problem. My sim gets off with this guy, like on a blind date, and they just fall from the sky. But she wants to go out with him again, so she bricks up the phone. He doesn't own a phone. She's never going to see him again. And they're apparently in love. What the hell am I meant to do?
Meanwhile,
Sonic
Molyneux's just
Sonic
Boom! Sonic Boom!
Take planet from disaster.
Sonic's not going to help me now.
So yeah, apparently both the Wii U and the 3DS games combined sold not even 500,000. That's bad for a Sonic game. Even Sonic Lost World did better.
Captain Planet.
well, obviously, like,
They're
you
not
know,
even
I don't know.
Captain Newcastle.
Basically, I just want to see them just sort of secretly brush this under the rug and pretend it never happened. That would be
We
nice.
won't let that happen.
No one will let that happen after Sonic
Of course,
6. People
it's on the
still
Wii,
don't
It will
stop
never go
talking
down
about
in
that.
price. It will be a full price shit for a long time.
Yeah, but it's not by Nintendo, so it will go down.
That's
No.
true, that's true.
Pretty much everything that's not... I mean, you can get Funky Barn cheap. That's a cheap Wii U game. It's like under a tenner.
I want to grab
It should be like
Assassin's
10p.
Creed that they made were cheap now, aren't they? They're like
Yeah, they are.
$10.
Yeah, they are.
And they looked alright.
Even Watch Dogs is really cheap already, and it only came
Yeah, that
out
went
like
right down really fast.
a week ago or something.
That's what they get for not sending us a copy.
They did send us a copy, just not on a console that we have.
Even though I requested it.
But that's kind of our fault for not having the most current consoles.
True.
No, we
we're
did
a
have the
game
most
show.
current console. We had a Wii U. I'm sick and tired of this argument.
Not-
He presents
not-
it to me all the time. We have a current gen console. It's
Not
called-
according to Ubisoft.
Yeah.
They actually, that was another bit of news I wasn't going to bring up, but they actually had a game that they completed but haven't released. They were just like, oh, we've got this game, but it probably won't sell, so we won't put it out. We're just going to sit on it.
Yeah, well, it won't sell if you don't.
And
prove
people were wondering what it was, and it was finally revealed what it was this week. It was a fucking shovelware quiz game where you take a photo of your face and they impose your face on some body,
Yeah, it
some
won't
cardboard
sell.
cutout, and
I
you
don't
just
think they'll sell.
yeah.
Good call, UV.
So basically, all this time everyone was going, oh, it's probably some exclusive Assassin's Creed game or something. Oh, it's probably something good like Zombie U2, but no, it was some shit quiz game.
I wish they'd kind of
It was a fucking quiz game.
There and back would have been nice.
They don't reckon they don't reckon some random shovelware will sell, even though they usually
Assassin's
do.
Creed Rogue 2.
That's how little faith they have in the Wii U now. They've got this game that probably would sell to someone somewhere.
Assassin's Creed.
I mean, this is a company that made Wii Dare.
Yeah, you play as what's his name? Dong Johnny. Excuse me, ding dong. Open the door.
Alright, moving on swiftly. One last bit of news that Unseen 64 found.
You've boy, haven't you?
I know you're a Templar, what are you playing at? Get out here!
Come on here, or we'll be forced to
I have no idea what they're going on
outside
about.
for a really long time. I've got sandwiches, I'll be here for a while. We're on about Rogue Traders, it's a shit program.
Right. Anyway,
Assassin's Creed.
Unseen 64 got their hands on some info about Nintendo from back in the late 90s that no one had heard. Basically, at one point, Nintendo tried to buy out Harry Potter.
They did order the hit on the guy who created the Virtual Boy. They ordered a hit on him.
Right.
They were like, this console is so shitty. And then they had him run down off the road. But their first attempt failed and they got Princess Diana instead.
I was expecting that. I saw that coming.
Really?
Yeah, I did. I was thinking that. As soon as you said second attempt, I was like, I know where this is going.
Who else in the history of ever has been run down in a car accident?
Who is also famous and rich.
And rich.
I guess.
Yeah.
I really need the toilet. I need both.
You don't have to ask permission.
I need
Phil.
both numbers.
You need to take a number 9 large.
Well, let's hear about Harry Potter. Hurry up.
Yeah, basically Nintendo tried to buy out Harry Potter back when it...
Sorry.
back in like 97 or 98 when the books first started out.
Wow, that long ago?
Yeah, basically all the way back when the books were first starting out, and they were basically looking for someone to buy the rights to the series
I thought the
as...
books were newer than that.
Yeah, no, they're actually older, like late 90s. But yeah, they were basically scouting around for what companies want to buy the rights to make media of it, basically.
Right.
And Nintendo was apparently one of the first people bidding to try and buy the rights to Harry Potter to make exclusive games.
Wow.
Yeah. In fact, there's even concept art on Unseen 64 of games they pitched. They pitched an N64 game, a Game Boy game, and a Project Dolphin, aka GameCube game.
Yeah.
They actually had like plans for 3 different games, all exclusive to Nintendo, because obviously they would have the exclusive rights. If they if people with a lot more money didn't come along and go, actually we got billions and billions and billions, so yeah. AKA Warner Brothers.
It's making a load of films that will shut the fuck up about. And I'm very sorry to offend one of our only listeners. Sorry, Tammy.
Sorry, Tammy, but shut the fuck up.
Apparently, when
I like the ginger one.
people think Nintendo are pretty much, people think Nintendo are pretty much perfect at everything they do. But obviously, even the glorious Nintendo have ideas that don't work. And basically, the Harry Potter pitch was apparently the Harry Potter pitch was apparently a complete disaster. Because for starters, it wasn't.
Do you
Like,
think they showed him Harry's Legend and went,
yeah, that's where it came. That's what that game is. That's what that game is. They actually developed the game. Went, we're going to port this to the Game Boy Color. Never mind that it says raping of heavy trunks. We'll revise that. But no, but in all honesty, they got like some of the people that work on Zelda to do concept art for it.
Okay.
And apparently, it was actually said
was
that
it anything like the Philips CDI Zelda?
No. That wasn't by Nintendo. Oh god. Yeah, that would be if Philips put a pitch in. It's like, oh, we got £5. We could buy Harry Potter for £5 and make a CDI game.
And a really attractive screwdriver set.
And a razor. We'll give you a razor. But apparently the Harry Potter concept art was too Japanese looking.
Oh.
In fact, it was too manga. They actually specifically, like J.K. Rowling's lawyers or whatever said it was too manga looking. So yeah, apparently the pitch was a complete disaster, and they didn't have enough money to buy it out anyway because
So
Warner
imagine
Brothers
that.
came along.
If Nintendo did get their hands on it, we may not have had the films.
Well, we definitely would
Or someone would have got the rights from Nintendo. Probably
Warner
paid
Brothers would have
Nintendo.
paid even
Nintendo
more.
would be much more well off.
Yeah, we'd probably
even though
have,
they are
like,
pretty damn well off anyway.
Nintendo are good for many a rainy day.
Yeah, and to think Harry Potter would be
Get
like
them to buy
one
the
of their
shit and learn
series like Zelda that they just make every few years. That would be really weird. That's a very strange alternative universe to think of. You know, it's up there with like when like the PlayStation could have been a Nintendo Sony console.
Yeah.
It's up there with that. It's just very bizarre.
That's the thing, yeah. Like a lot of the most popular, sometimes the best, sometimes just the most popular because it's popular things come out of Nintendo not getting them.
Yeah, that's true. Like
That's
that.
very
Yeah,
true.
that is a really good point. Yeah.
Because Sony, hats off to them. They were like, alright, you don't want our fucking thing, we'll make our own fucking thing.
Yeah,
We'll
exactly.
make it up.
Video game history.
I think in this case it was more a case of Nintendo both had a failed pitch and didn't have enough money. They didn't have the kind of money that obviously a company like Time Warner has, and I think Paramount and Universal and all that were all involved as well. I'm trying to buy it out, but
probably loads of people for some reason. But yeah, like I was looking up some stuff about the PS2, and it's like really impressive. It's a really good bit of hardware.
The amount that's sold is insane.
it is still probably the best-selling console of all time. I think it
The
is
whole
actually.
thing about
It's got more
Saddam
games
Hussein
than any
ordering them
console.
in to create a supercomputer was bollocks.
What's that?
Oh
Did you
yeah,
hear
that's
What?
that's
I think it was either
a
Saddam
wives' tale.
or the other one.
yeah.
The
Bin
other
Laden.
dead one. Bin Laden. It was one of those two. There was like a media rumour going around, as there often is,
God.
that he was planning to buy
that
hundreds of
was some snakes.
PS2s and like put them together somehow. with
Glue them
computer-
together and make.
glue them
Tape 'em
together
up.
with Pritt stick and make a supercomputer.
And then he said, "Stuff that idea. I'll super glue 2 GameCubes together and make a Wii instead and sell it to Nintendo."
Edgy. Oh, best stand clear of Aaron. He's so edgy we might cut ourselves.
So yeah, that's weird. Unseen 64 have managed to get their hands on some very bizarre innovations about the past. It's kind of interesting to think how things could have been different. We could have been like playing Harry Potter and the Twilight Princess or some shit. I don't know. I'm kind of glad it didn't happen.
I'd love to just see Harry Potter gets the shit kicked out of him by all the Nintendo characters.
Oh, what if he was in Smash Brothers?
Harry Potter is Smash
He would have been.
Rip down your fuck!
Well, you know what? I kind of think Robin from
Yo,
Smash Brothers is Harry Potter.
Yeah, Robin is, yeah.
Yeah, I actually wouldn't be surprised if Robin is just Harry Potter assets that they just reskinned into a Fire Emblem character. It's like he's got the book and the wand and shit.
If
So-
I was ever to make a song about the characters in Smash
but it's
Bros,
just a game theory.
if I was to ever make a song about the characters in Smash Brothers, I'd have to rhyme Robin with "Get Your Nobbin."
Just hope Ninja
Watch
Sex
out
Party
for
ain't
Robin.
listening.
Watch out for Robin, he's trying to get his nobbin.
So yeah, that was the news.
Bing, 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 bong.
Lots of people making games.
That was the news. Phil
about
still
it.
needs a poo.
Well, let's have a song while he has a poo. And
That was the news.
Yeah.
Phil needs a number 2.
that does.
Do-do-do-do.
Right, let's have a song.
All over you.
Yeah.
Like-
Yeah. back.
Very cool.
That was it was Space Harrier again, but it was a specific rendition that I haven't heard before until like today. Basically, because 3D Fantasy Zone came out today, which I picked up. I was looking up Fantasy Zone stuff because I was thinking, I was comparing it to like the Saturn version that I've got because that's got like a few different extras in it. Like it's got the song with lyrics in like a replay mode. It's really cheesy, and it's also got like saturation options, so you can make the whole game black and white for some reason.
Okay.
You can make it like, I don't know, fantasy noir or something. It's really weird. And then I was looking up the Sharp X68000 version, which is like that really powerful computer they had back in the early 90s in Japan.
I mean, we never got it.
No, the computer, wasn't it? Really expensive computer.
one-
Basically made the Amiga look pathetic.
Yeah, it did.
And they had a really good version of Fantasy Zone on there created by a company called Denpa. It wasn't actually developed by Sega.
Oh.
But they added a whole Space Harrier stage to Fantasy Zone, and it actually uses all the enemies, like little tiny versions of them, all running around the level. And the boss was like a boss rush of Space Harrier, but from a 2D perspective. It was amazing. So yeah, basically,
You showed me a video and I was
yeah.
just like, wow.
Yeah, I want that version now. I really want
The
that
level
version.
itself looks like a dick, though, doesn't it?
Oh god, yeah, yeah. The amount of different like enemy patterns to do. But yeah, basically that music was from that Space Harrier level from that version of Fantasy Zone.
Yeah.
So it's yet another cool. There's another thing that crosses those because for some reason those both Space Harrier and Fantasy Zone are considered the same universe, even though they're clearly completely different in a lot of ways. Like one of them has a bloke with a gun, and the other one's like a cartoon spaceship thing with wings. Yeah, little legs that pop out when he walks on the floor. But
So the Space Harry, he runs along the floor when you touch the floor.
yeah, but he doesn't grow
How
legs.
does
He
he
doesn't
float?
not have legs when he's a.
I know.
I think it's the gun. I think
has
the
a
gun
booster.
is also a
Yeah.
rocket thing. I think in that PS2
Also,
remake,
what happens if he
say
loses
Classics
his-
Collection, they sort of made it like a rocket.
Yeah, that's right.
What happens if he loses his grip? Because he's
Yeah.
only sort of
He's
holding
just
it.
Maybe he's just
He's
glued
only
on.
holding on by his armpit.
Yeah, he just has really strong armpits. I don't know.
Superhuman armpits.
But then there was also that
You skip
PC.
leg
There was
day,
also
you
a
always go to
cancelled.
Pit's Day.
I think I already used
And
music
Dawn's
from
Day.
it. I can't remember if I used music from it on the podcast or not, but there was also a
Very
cancelled
possibly.
PC Engine CD game that was called Space Fantasy Zone, and it was basically Fantasy Zone but Space Harrier style. So it was the opposite of that level. So it was basically all the levels from Fantasy Zone with Opa Opa, but it was from a back view with everything coming towards you.
But,
And
but in Fantasy Zone, you can turn around.
yeah, not in that. It was basically Space Harrier with Fantasy Zone characters
got
and
you.
bosses and stuff. And the music was actually just a mashup of both.
Nice.
It was like the songs were actually combined together,
That's pretty
but
cool.
it never came out. It's just like a leaked ROM of it, but
Yeah.
it never actually got released for whatever reason.
That would have been cool.
I think it was developed by NEC or something like that. Quite a lot of Sega games back then actually got like released on other non-Sega consoles, especially like arcade ones. There's even not one but two versions of Fantasy Zone on the NES. There's like a Famicom version
Really?
by a company. I think it was by Sunsoft. And then there was another version by Tenjin for the American NES. And they're both completely different. It's really weird. There's two ports of the same game, and they're roughly similar to each other as well.
Pretty weird.
It's really bizarre. But yeah.
So,
So that's what that song was.
I will assume that's what you've been playing.
Very briefly, because it only came out today. So like I've only played like an hour, not even an hour really.
Okay.
But yeah, obviously I grabbed that as soon as I could because I love these collections.
Yeah.
The-
As of today, I've joined the 3DS family.
yeah.
I've been wanting one for ages.
You got a new 3DS.
Yeah, I held out for the new.
Not a
3DS.
second-hand new 3DS. Not a new. No, how's that gonna work?
Why did
Wait-
they call it that?
Yeah, you're gonna go to a shop and go, can I get a second-hand new 3DS? Okay,
Now-
so do you want a second-hand 3DS, or do you want a second-hand new 3DS, or do you want a new 3DS?
Just give me a 2,
Just give me 4 candles. 6 teaspoons.
Oh god.
Brings out 60 spoons.
The
So yeah, I've only briefly played a little bit of it so far. There's loads of like extra modes, including you get to play as Oopa Oopa's brother, Oopa Oopa, who's only ever previously appeared in a spin-off called Fantasy Zone The Maze, which is like a Pac-Man style game, and it was 2-player, and Oopa Oopa was basically his recoloured brother, who's just slightly different colours. And he was also in a game called Galactic Protector, which I've always wanted to play.
Yeah, with the weird Planet Earth with a worried face.
Oh, that looks really fun though. It actually used like a sort of Arkanoid tilt controller thing. I think the same controller that. Have you ever seen that Alex Kidd BMX game?
Yes.
Yeah.
He used a really
use that strange
controller.
Yeah, use that really strange little tilty like.
Apparently, it was just a fucking pain in the arse.
It's quite. You can play it on emulators. Yeah. You can actually play that on an emulator just. As if it's a normal game, just with a D-pad. It's actually quite good, actually. I quite like it.
Oh, right.
But, yeah, it's quite a cool little game. Obviously, it only came out in Japan, that one. But
yeah.
Alex Kidd is really weird because, like, one of the Alex Kidd games we got is just a reskin of some Japanese anime game. And then Alex Kidd in Shinobi World never came out in Japan. It only came out in Europe and Brazil.
But it's
and then Alex Kidd BMX. Yeah, it was developed by Japan.
So America got Alex Kidd in Shinobi World?
No, I don't think they did.
Well, it was such a good game.
I know, it's probably the best Alex Kidd game. And it wasn't originally going to be an Alex Kidd game. It was going to be called Shinobi Junior or something like that. It was actually going to be a Shinobi game. And then they reskinned it into Alex Kidd.
Wow.
So most Alex Kidd games are either
even before
not originally an Alex Kidd game.
Yeah. Even before they cast him out, they didn't know what to do with him.
No, literally. After like the first game, they had no idea what to do with Alex Kidd. It was quite obvious. It's really weird.
My favourite's still Enchanted Castle.
Oh, the Mega Drive one.
Yeah, I love that game. I do love Miracle World, but Enchanted Castle.
I think Shinobi World and probably the first Master System one are probably my favourites. But yeah.
Shinobi World is bloody good.
So good. Mainly because it's just a Shinobi game, basically.
That's why, yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, I've mainly been just playing Fantasy Zone 3D briefly today, but then I've also been playing loads of, very briefly playing loads of my game collection just to try them out on my new DVD recorder. Because I got a new Sony DVD recorder that lets me cap true RGB, which is basically the good kind. I think I explained this last time on the podcast. I said I was getting it. Now I've got it, and oh my god, the picture's so good. It actually makes the Mega Drive look like you're running it through an emulator, but you're playing on an actual Mega Drive. There's no input lag or anything, and it puts everything in the right ratio. And I couldn't actually play Master System games properly on my TV before, because whether I used a Master... Well, I could if I used like RF or something really crappy, but if I used SCART, whether it was through if it was through the Mega Drive with an adapter or... just an actual Master System 2, which I've also got. The picture was always really flickery, like the top of the screen just juddered like mental. On this, it's fine though. When you play it through the DVD player, it's perfect. Yeah, basically, I'm going to actually be able to finally do Mega Drive and Master System capping and do. I've got loads of Gagger and Cherries I want to do on them systems and stuff like that. So I want to do like loads of reviews and stuff of Mega Drive games. So. Yeah, basically I keep just sticking games in and seeing how good they look and be like, oh, I got to do a little cap test, ooh. Just nerding out over how bloody good it looks. I mean, like, yeah, Mega Drive just looks phenomenal on it, just absolutely perfect. So yeah, I've mainly just been doing that. Not last weekend, but the weekend before, I think just after the last podcast, Stacey brought over all her Game Boy collection, and we just got out the Game Boy player. And just tried out. The GameCube one. We were just playing loads of Game Boy games. I actually had a couple games sitting in my collection that I hadn't got around to playing yet. One of them was called Kwirk. It's like it's a puzzle game starring a tomato with shades.
Okay.
I just picked it up because I was like, wow. This Game Boy game has a tomato with shades trying to look cool with like a mohawk on it. I'm sure this is going to be brilliant. So I just picked it up because it was like 50p or whatever. I think I bought it like 2 years ago and I never got around to playing it. So I stuck that in. And it turns out it's a really fucking good and really hard puzzle game. It's a bit like that game called Sokoban or Shove It, where you have to push the boxes around and put them into things. But basically you're at one end of the screen and you have to get to the other end, and there's all like these blocks that you have to push around to sort of squeeze past them. And then there's also like these little
panel things that flip round, but they only flip round in certain directions, and then you have to. Basically, you just got to clear a path to get to the other side of the level, and then there's also blocks that will create a bridge over like a hole and stuff like that. And from like the third level, it got ridiculously hard. It was just like insanely complicated. It's like Shove It, but 10 times harder. It's so difficult. But it was actually really good. I was sitting there playing it for quite a while. I was quite surprised. I was expecting it to be some shit platformer, because the front cover is literally just a tomato with shades going, yeah, look how cool I am. And it was like, and even the name Kwirk, it's like the most 90s fucking, it's like up there with Zool and all that kind of shit. But like I was just expecting some mediocre platformer, but it turned out to be this really cool puzzle game. What else did I play? I played quite a bit of Wario Blast. Have you ever played that one?
Blast?
Yeah, it's a Bomberman game that they just stuck Wario in.
Oh, yeah, you mentioned that one before.
Yeah, I think in Japan it was just a Bomberman game, but over here, because Wario was so popular on the Game Boy, they just slapped him in it. And basically, it's just like the multiplayer mode from Bomberman, where you're just playing against each other, but you're just playing against increasing amounts of other. If you play as Wario, you fight against Bomberman, and if you play as Bomberman, you fight against Warios. Okay. It's really weird, and it just like starts with like you're fighting 1, then you're fighting 2, and then you're fighting 3, and then they all combine into a boss, and then it goes on to the next area. And like that AI increases in difficulty at each time. The first like world, they're so fucking stupid. It's like you're playing against like, I don't know, someone who's never played video games trying to play Bomberman, because like the first couple of levels they literally just walk into explosions. They just go just wipe themselves out. It's ridiculous. But then after like I guess the second world or the third world, it starts to get a lot more complicated. And you know how Bomberman usually you get items, and then that you temporarily have like the bomb kick and all that kind of stuff. In this game, each time you finish a boss, you permanently keep one of the abilities. Okay. So after the first boss, you permanently have the kick bomb, which is really fucking handy. And then after the second boss, you get like a speed up. And if you hold like A down, you can just run twice as fast as everyone else. So it makes it stupidly easy, because you can just run around, kick bombs everywhere, and just dominate. But it was really fun though.
You just reminded me I need to get on with my Pocket Bomberman, the one that's like a
oh yeah, I love that one. Yeah, I used to have that when I first got my Game Boy Pocket, I think it was, because that was the first Game Boy I bought. I used to have that game. That was one of the first Game Boy games I owned.
It was really good.
That was really fucking good. Yeah, I need to pick that one up again. Yeah, I think there was
I
like
grabbed it a week fair, so it was just unboxed. But
a majority of my Game Boy games are unboxed.
Yeah.
I also played Super Mario Land. Almost beat it as well. I was really.
Oh, the first one.
Yeah, the very first one. I love that game. That is honestly one of my favourite Mario games. I like it more than most of the console ones.
It's just like Nintendo really knew what they were doing with that, because they went, okay, here's a system that's really limited, so let's have small sprites.
Yeah. Which really benefited it. It was so good. I actually think like I prefer that over the original Mario Brothers. It's weird. Because like Mario's really heavy in it, and I don't know, something about the original Mario Brothers. I never got used to like the physics of it. Yeah. Sort of like the way you drop and the way you jump, and it's not as.
Same here. I mean, I actually really suck at Mario games.
I'm fucking terrible at Mario games, but that one I'm really good at. I actually feel like I'm quite good at Mario Land.
Yeah.
It feels different. I don't know what it is. It's hard to explain, but there's something about that one.
It doesn't play like any of the other Mario games.
No, it doesn't.
Really.
No.
It just plays like a different kind of fast-paced platformer.
Yeah, honestly.
I love the way they break it up with the little shooty levels, like the submarine.
Yeah. I fucking love that game. I got right up to. I can't remember what world it was. There's like 5 worlds in that, isn't there? 5 or 6. I got right up to near the end of the game and then ran out of continues. I was so annoyed. I think I was only like 1 or 2 levels away from the end. I did actually. I remember when I first got my Game Boy, I did actually manage to beat it once. But yeah, and I really wish I capped the whole thing, because it was. I was pulling off some maneuvers I never thought I could in a Mario game. I was like quite surprised. I might have to go back and play that again and see if I can beat it again, because I love that game.
I just remembered one of the things I loved from that game, the old Daisy.
Oh god, yeah, she turns into a bug and stuff, yeah.
Oh Daisy.
Oh Daisy, Daisy. Yeah, that might actually be one of my favourite 2D Marios. It's weird.
Yeah, same here.
It's probably not for most people, but like Mario connoisseurs, you probably say, "Oh yeah, free." Or I still really like World. World's still one of my favourites, and even though it doesn't really count, I guess Yoshi's Island's one of my favourites as well.
I
even though
think
it's not technically a Mario game.
World actually could be my favourite. Yeah.
Yeah, World's definitely one of my
It's one of
favourites.
the
I really
ones I
like
managed to
3 as
finish.
well. I like 3 more than most of them as well. 3, World,
Yeah.
Yoshi's Island, if that counts. 64 as well. 3D wise, 64 and Galaxy as well. But,
Yeah.
Never got on with 2 or 1.
I don't know. Yeah.
it's
I just really suck at Mario.
I'm the same. I'm
Never
fucking
been good
terrible.
at Mario.
I'm terrible at I seem to do alright with the 3D ones, just the 2D ones I always struggle with. I always find myself jumping in front of enemies instead of on them, and then just hitting them right in the face. Just like jumping right into their face and beep. Just bonking their nose or something, I don't know. But yeah, Mario Land's brilliant. I love that game. That's basically what I've been playing.
Okay, that younger? What have you been playing?
I've been playing Starbound.
A lot.
A lot. Yeah, you were telling us about this.
Well, yeah, they had a massive update, like basically an overhaul.
Oh, wow.
Pretty much redone it all, didn't they?
Yeah, well,
Isn't it early access still?
yeah, it's
Okay.
Oh, it is.
like
Oh, okay.
stage 2 now.
Ah,
But
slightly less early access.
God, it's been early access for like 2 years or so.
I think some games stay that way
Nothing's as bad as
forever.
Prison Architect. Is that game still not?
I have no idea what's going on with that.
Prison Fart Architect. Yeah, so Starbound's great. I can't really describe it. It's you know when you were a teenager and gaming used to be so, it probably still is for you, but not so much for me lately. But like it used to be such an escapism that you'd literally want to just like shut the lights off, wear some headphones.
Yeah.
Just,
Yeah. Still get that sometimes.
I do have moments of that, especially a few years ago when I was living.
thought that was still Empire.
I used to get really, really angry whenever I would hear like someone being a bit of a dick outside the window, because I used to just love getting totally engrossed in my games. I do still get like that. Yeah, I can understand that actually, but it's just, you know, the way
Yeah, it doesn't
things
happen
are
as
at the moment,
much,
I can't do that anymore.
Nah.
I get shouted at.
Tom's off in his own world and Hector's eating a plug.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's cool. It's just sort of like it gets to midnight, so I start thinking, alright, I'll be a bit considerate to my housemates and put my earphones in. And yeah, before I know it, it's 8 o'clock in the morning. Yeah,
I remember you were saying to me earlier that it, on paper, sounds like a crap idea.
yeah.
the
On
game,
paper,
but
it's
so
space
good, isn't it?
Minecraft.
Yeah.
And exactly, you know.
Yeah, it doesn't sound on
That makes me
paper.
groan.
And there are some things wrong with it, I will admit. Like, combat in the game still feels like an afterthought to me.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
the enemies look like these weird little, like, almost crayon kids drawing enemies.
Maybe that's why it's early access. We haven't drawn these
Yeah,
yet. We
they-
just
they-
got our kid to do it.
They do feel like placeholders to me, and I hope they
Yeah,
are.
maybe they
because
are.
everything has this amazingly charming sort of aesthetic to it. Like, everything's all... The parallax scrolling on the planets.
Oh yeah,
just
it's 2D, isn't it?
fucking wow. Like,
Oh right, so
It's
probably
more like
Space Terraria.
yeah, well, Terraria is space, isn't it? Or is it...
No, it's more like just 2D Minecraft.
Terraria, I always
I don't really like the look at Terraria.
I always name it the official Minecraft ripoff.
It's the official one.
It's the official one.
Well,
Yeah.
that's the thing, like Starbound, you know, you call it 2D Minecraft or you know, space Minecraft. If you had a sort of,
in space.
if you had a bit of a blinkered view on what's acceptably similar in games,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like saying Assassin's Creed is just Dishonored because you can climb walls. It's like
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
it's only loosely.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, okay,
like
that
there's
makes sense.
mining and there's crafting, but mining's a necessity. Like I love how it goes up in stages on where you are in the game, and they've now made it so that NPCs give you missions and there's like an outpost. It's great. I love that, but you can upgrade your ship to ridiculous proportions as well. Because in the previous updates, my ship was just jam packed with shit because you collect so many little like trinkets, decorative items, clothing items and stuff.
Just like Wally's bunker.
But yeah, you know, like your house would just be chalk and or block. So now, as you progress through the game and you do mission, like you complete a set of missions, this shady looking guy, he has a set of missions called Psst. And each one you just have to give him some diamonds and he'll give you a ship upgrade. And then when you go to your ship and you it's cool, you got a little companion AI which is different for each character.
Okay.
Yeah, the human one's just like a little humany looking robot thing that's your AI. It's SAIL, your AI.
Okay.
But yeah, you know, using that you can upgrade your gear and your ship and stuff. But yeah, I think I'm on upgrade 3 or 4 now out of 6, I think. And my ship is massive. Like, there's the first original compartment that you've always had, and then you get an extra compartment that's the same size for your first upgrade, and then you get another one that's the same size with another floor. And now I've got like a 3rd floor with like an extra bit, and like the main cockpit's bigger. And yeah, so much space in there now, and I've still got like 2 upgrades to go. Basically, yeah, because a lot of people are getting annoyed at the fact that like the infinityness of the game.
Okay.
Like there are so many planets in that game.
Yeah.
That like, oh God, like two people could play the game. Like 200 people could play the game, and they could each branch off in their own direction and never stumble across the same planet. Like that would be a possibility because there's got to be tens of thousands, if not more, planets.
Yeah.
But yeah, people were just getting a bit annoyed at like you'd basically have to set a home planet and then build on it, and it's like I'm not really that into the crafting in the game yet. That's like for me that would be what I do when I've done everything else.
Yeah.
So like,
So crafting's there, but it's not like the main focus.
Yeah, basically.
Or it doesn't need to be the focus at all. You can do other things. Yeah.
There's some great stuff you can do with crafting. Like a lot of the time, I find myself awestruck by just some of the randomly generated structures in the game. Because there's like tree houses and castles and stuff like that are just so elaborately done. Because it's on a different plane, different plane. You know, in Minecraft, you're looking at it kind of like trying to make it as close to actual life as possible.
Yeah.
So you have to be liberal with like using signposts and upside down stair blocks to make chairs and shit.
Yeah.
But in Starbound, you actually have to think of it in a completely different light. Like, how does it work on a 2D sort of spectrum? Yeah. And it's really cool. Some of the interesting little ways that people have actually made it do stuff. And yeah, you know, I could waffle on for ages, but I won't. Basically, it's an amazing game, and this one update, I think it's about 400 megabyte update, so it's a massive, complete overhaul of the game, has made it feel like Starbound 2, you know, now.
Yeah, they've added so much as it was another game.
It's like playing a new game again, so I was on 82 hours.
Yes, that's a good thing about early access. It's almost like you're watching the game grow.
Yeah, you really are. And this is a game that grows well. Like, it's impressive anyway. Like, like I say, on paper it doesn't sound it, but you just have to experience it. Yeah. It's got beautiful music. The parallax scrolling. If you have an eye for that sort of stuff and you can appreciate it, you'll be running through a planet, like actually trying to get on with the game, but you'll be sort of awestruck. You'll be going, "Oh, look, there's so many layers of parallax, man." Oh, I'm dead. But yeah, it's really cool, and there's so many items in the game as well, and all the decorative items you can put into your 3D printer for a small cost, so you can print out as many as you want. So the completionist in me is sort of going, I could get every decorative item in the game, of which there's got to be about 100,000 decorative items in the game, and I can put them in my 3D printer. I'm about 1,000 items in, and I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. But
what, you mean an actual 3D printer or what?
Yeah, and it like I mentioned your ship's AI.
Oh yeah.
A part of that is 3D printing. So what you do is you scan the item through, and the item gets destroyed, and then for a small amount
a 3D printer in the game?
Yeah.
Don't literally mean a 3D printer.
Oh god. I'll 3D print a fridge.
Yeah.
So you can do that, but obviously not in real life. But
3D printer in a 2D game.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
So it's a 2D printer.
It's a 2D printer.
2D printer.
It's a stuff printer. Alright?
Prints objects.
But yeah, you spend pixels, which is the money in the game, to print stuff out. And yeah, that's pretty cool.
Huh.
I've mostly been just trying to get all the light sources in the game that I can find. So there's so many. I've got like fluorescent wall lights, which are really cool.
Huh.
You can get like little lamps, candles, lampshade, like type. There's these really cool like noir prison lights that I really like.
Oh wow.
They're like the lampshadey swingy metal.
Oh
lights.
yeah.
Yeah, they're like those.
Yeah, actually plays a little bit of jazz if you walk underneath it.
Well, that's the thing. Like some of the structures in it, there's like these little sort of underground prison structures you can find, and they're really well done. Like aesthetically, like they've got like the broken chairs and stuff, and there's like, oh, it's great. I can't, you need to play it. It's really good. Starbound, it's really good. I can't wait for it to actually be a game.
Yeah, because like when games are developed, like obviously like all games that come out, like generally you never see all the work that goes into them and how they begin.
Yeah.
Because like for example, apparently the GameCube game Chibi Robo by Nintendo, it didn't start out as a Nintendo game. It was being developed by someone else entirely, and it was almost a completely different game when it first started. It was actually a game where you like get chased by humans and had to not get kidnapped and run around charging your batteries up, and then it turned into a completely different. What? Yeah, of course. But yeah, like when games get developed, obviously, unless like all the details about it get leaked, like you don't know how they started out. But when it's like early access, you see it from pretty much from the beginning, and that's what's happening with Starbound. You're seeing it like flourish into what it's going to become. Like become the full game that it's going to be.
It's just a little bit frustrating because it has been out for a long time now.
Yeah.
And they're only just,
well, especially when it's like an indie game and they've got only so many people working on it, and it's as ambitious as it is.
Yeah,
as well.
that's what I was going to say. Like,
much
it's
going on.
so ambitious.
Yeah.
Like, because there's another very similar game I mentioned before called Edge of Space.
Oh, that's it. Yeah.
And I fell in love with that, but comparatively, I don't see me ever playing Edge of Space again. Like, because Starbound does all the same stuff, but so much better and just so much just prettier. And there's so many cool little things in it. Like I got these things called techs that you unlock. Again, when you upgrade your ship, you unlock extra techs, which are abilities basically. And I've got one that's just like a simple double jump, pulse jump it's called, and there's like an energy dash where you double tap left or right and you sort of you like skitch across the sky, which is bloody useful in times.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's one I recently got. It's a morph ball. It's actually called morph ball tech.
Wow.
It's called morph ball.
And
It's just called the Metroid thing.
Oh, it's bloody cool though.
Yeah.
Actually, just like, and you can use other text while doing it. So I turned into a morph ball, double jumped, and did the energy dash. So I was like, yeah, I'm better than you, Samus. But there's another one I've got. It's called Targeted Blink. So you know what that does.
Blink.
It is Blink, yeah.
Blink is my favourite thing in a game ever.
Yeah.
Oh, from Dishonored.
You literally press F wherever your mouse cursor is and you just go boing, and you're there. It's great.
I love Blink.
Wow.
Love Blink.
There's one I'm working up to that I got on the game before, and they've done it well now actually, because getting the ship upgrades is a fucking hassle. Some of the missions, like, it's quite annoying actually. I've gotten to the point where some of the missions I'm having to look them up on Google and it's still not helping. Because because the universe in the game is like basically infinite.
Yeah.
People jot down coordinates that are like 12 digits long.
Wow.
Well, there's 12 digits X and Y. So like,
Yeah. Christ.
I have to like alt tab 2144 79941 and then do that twice. Wait for it to process because it takes a little while to process where
Find
it is.
where it is, yeah.
Yeah, and then it's still wrong.
Games just get so
Because the
friggin'
coordinates
big.
are a few days old and the game's constantly having little updates.
Oh god. So the coordinates
I've
keep
just
changing. Oh my god.
Yeah, so I've just been trying to find this stuff by myself
Jesus.
and it's really starting to get to a bit of pain. But yeah, there's a tech I'm trying to work towards. It was called Butterfly Bubble or something like that.
Okay.
But it basically is like just infinite flight if you use it well. Because it uses so little of your energy that you can just keep tapping the jump button and you'll sort of just keep skitching up and up. And I managed to do it to get out of a planet's atmosphere once.
Oh wow.
This was when
That's
the
a
game
bit like
was
that
a lot
floating
earlier.
glitch in Sonic
I just
06
died.
with Silver.
She died.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting that motherfucker again. But I'm thinking that's going to be a really late tech, like probably one of the top tier. So
Blimey.
I've got to wait till I get my ship all sparkly.
Wow.
So yeah, good games. That's what
Right.
Phil's been playing. That's all I've been playing, and it's been taking up
Lots
a lot
and
of
lots
my
of-
time, and it's
yeah.
the reason why I'm so sleepy today.
Right, shall we have a song and then
Yeah.
come back?
Let's do that.
Yeah.
I'm having a biscuit.
Oh, fuck it. That's woken us up, I think.
That's such a cheery tune. That would just wake you up.
That'd make me jig at a funeral, that would.
If that played at the gates of Guantanamo Bay, I'd be like, alright. It is the jungle zone after all. Da, 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 ow. Da, 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 can't breathe. Da, 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 da. What?
Yeah. Anyway, that was Jungle Zone from the Master System and or Game Gear Master System version of Sonic 1 on the Master
I
System.
just wish the Game Gear port didn't zoom me in so much.
It's just because of the resolution.
Yeah.
The Game Gear is literally
Like Wario
like,
Land on Was it no, Wario
Game
Land,
Boy, yeah.
Wario Land 2, I think it was on the Game Boy.
Yeah, everything's
Half the
so.
screen was Wario.
Yeah, it's literally the opposite of Super Mario Land, where all the sprites were the perfect size.
Yeah,
and now
exactly.
they're too big.
Yeah.
It's like half the screen is just Wario's ass.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I love that.
So yeah,
I
fucking love.
Hero, wasn't it?
Yeah. I fucking love that game. Like Sonic 1 Game Gear, like first one. I don't know what happened with Sonic 2. That was a bit weird, but
I
like,
love that one.
yeah.
What I love about Sonic 2 on the
beat it.
Master System was that game, the look and feel of it is unique to that game.
Yeah.
No other
Sure.
Sonic game, no other game feels like that. I know it sounds weird.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I remember because that's the game I played first of the Sonic series when I was younger.
Yeah.
And I don't know, just something about it just really stuck with me. That
Okay.
It was the game that was in the Master System when I read on it. One of my earliest memories was me, for some reason, winning on the Master System as a toddler.
Oh my god.
I got such a whack for that.
I bet you fucking did.
It was like 1993, I think it was still acceptable with wacky kids. But
Even if it wasn't, you pissed on a console.
loved it.
yeah, like those things were not cheap back then.
Oh, Master Systems, so probably 100.
Why?
Because I was a toddler.
Okay.
My brain
Oh,
made a weird
yeah.
connection between like, oh, they're enjoying playing the console.
Don't
I
whiz
did-
on
I
the
destroyed
electric.
that time.
I didn't piss. I'll piss on the console.
Yeah.
That'll enhance the joy. And then
Whiz on the Sega console. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, Sonic 1 on Master System. I bloody love that. Yeah, the Game Gear version of Sonic 1, they actually changed Sonic's sprite just so he's smaller on the screen. And it's really weird in the Game Gear one. He's got like a weird sort of like butt face. He's just got this weird chubby face.
But he doesn't
They sort of
have
like-
blue arms.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't go do
Well,
it.
there's something about like that one. I like that all the zones like slowly progress instead of just going from Green Hill to completely different marble zone. You get like Green Hill,
Even
then
worse
Bridge
than
Zone, then Jungle Zone. It feels
Yeah.
like you're actually going on a.
Yeah.
They even show you like an island at the. Yeah, they even show you
worst
an
one
island.
for
You're
that
like
was
travelling
Sonic
up
2
an
though, wasn't
island.
it?
Isn't it?
You went from like big golf course looking Emerald Hill zone, and then suddenly
Factory.
bang! You're in the middle of a fucking chemical.
Well, you
plant.
know what the reason for that was? Originally, Chemical Plant was going to be one of the last zones.
Really?
Yeah, it was going to be right near the end of the game. It was actually.
Motherfucker,
But the only reason they moved it forward was because it was so impressive. Because it was so impressive looking, they wanted people to see it sooner.
I'm
Yeah.
shouting.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
Because of that music and with the graphics of it, they
I'll
wanted
tell
that
you
to.
what though.
They wanted that as a show
The
off.
third
course.
zone should have been fucking Mystic Cave. Oh, I'm
Mm.
that fucking zone.
Well, in the
Hilltop
in that Christian Whitehead port on iOS and Android, they actually made it hidden within Mystic Cave
Yeah.
Zone. You have to fall in like where that that pit that's got spikes in it in Mystic Cave that you can get stuck in.
Oh yeah.
If you're supersonic, you're just stuck down there until you run out of room. In the Android,
dying
in
too
the Android
slow.
in the Android version, if you fall down there, you go into Hidden Palace.
Ah.
It's so
And
good.
they made
a whole
boss,
level out of it,
boss
a whole
from
boss for
scratch.
it, where it's like Robotnik with like some kind of musical trumpet boss. It's so good. It's amazing. They need to put that on consoles or at least 3DS. Come on.
Yeah.
I
Get
hate that.
version.
I don't like mobile gaming.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
So
Them
why
ports
would you
are
keep-
amazing,
Yeah.
but I want to use a controller.
Yeah.
There are ways to plug in like controllers into
Yeah, I
the
just
phone,
I'm
but
not
it's
interested. I want it on
fiddly.
console.
yeah.
Why
exactly.
make an incredible port of it and then only have it for phones?
Yeah, that's the only thing that really
I
annoys me
think
with
you
it.
can
The fact
give
that
you some sort of software to just.
yeah,
Right,
yeah,
you
there
find
is. There's
Apple
there's a
PC,
program called BlueStacks, and it's
Mm.
basically an Android emulator, and it lets you. It actually lets you sync up your Google account, so you can actually just take all your apps off your
Awesome.
phone onto. And some games work and some don't. I have actually played Sonic CD, the mobile version for it, and Sonic 1, I think.
Right.
So it's a bit fiddly. It's a bit weird to set up, but you can do it.
I've seen the iOS version of Dragon Quest 8 and they've changed the names of stuff. It's weird.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Is it like it must be like a retranslation or something?
Maybe it's... I know.
They've ported
on
like
your
all.
phone.
Yeah, they've ported like all of them. to
Ring,
that.
ring, ring, ring. Your dad's like, yeah, I don't care. I'm playing Dragon Quest 8.
Oh god.
Oh, yeah, Angus. He says cool blimey a lot.
Well, they must have like retranslated it, I presume. I bet it has a completely different. Like, if it even has voice acting, it probably has different voice acting.
Oh, I bet
As
they
well.
have voice acting.
Or different. It'll probably have different voice acting.
Voice acting is one of the best things about that game. It's what changes it from being the best of the Dragon Quest series to being one of the best RPGs ever in the world. In fact,
You'd probably like Nina Cooney for the same
if
reason.
I could be
actually.
bothered, yeah, if I could be bothered,
Because they're all
I
like
would
British
make
actors.
a video about exactly why Dragon Quest VIII, although it's not my absolute favourite game in the world, it's probably the best game in the world.
Yeah, I think you'd really like Nina Cooney as well. What's really weird about that is the main kid that you play, Nina Cooney, is the kid from Broadchurch.
Really?
Yeah.
What, David Tennant?
That was great. That was brilliant.
Thank you.
But yeah, apparently there's like 3 or 4 actors that were in Broadchurch that were also in Nina Cooney.
The woman was also in Green Wing.
Oh, that was it. Yeah, yeah. It was what's her name?
The
What, she was in
curly-haired
Nino
one.
Cooney?
Yeah,
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah. I think
She's a bad bit, isn't she? We ran the station a few times.
Oh yes, she's in Green Fuzz as well.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm good at this.
Oh, trivia. Trivia-based jokage.
Bants.
What have you been playing, Tom?
Yeah, what have you been playing, Tom?
Okay, well, actually, this could be quite short for me because not much is the.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll see you next week.
Bye. Basically, no, I've just been sleeping a lot.
With men. Nah, not sleeping.
Yeah.
Bumming. Staying awake.
We stayed awake.
Having some good old sloppy, dry, bummy, crying.
How can you
nonsense.
become sloppy dry?
Well, it becomes sloppy because of the contents. They go
Right.
in dry, but they bring
Fuck's
prejudice. They
Anyway.
bring a little added extras on the way out.
All I can really say is that today I've got my new 3DS, so I played a very little amount of.
Is it a new 3DS
Yes,
or
or
a
is it
new
just a new
3DS?
Fucking hell.
Brilliant.
And is it a new 3DS XL or is it a new 2DS double XL or is it a
Double XL.
Is it
a new Super Mario 3DS XL and Knuckles?
Is it a new Scooby Doo? Is it a new Scooby Doo? Where are you? We've got some work to do.
Yes.
He's got a Skull Kid figurine. He's got a Majora's Mask. Can you take the Majora's Mask off of it and see his little woody face?
Don't know if you can.
Oh, is that?
Try.
Is he got like a woody face?
Yeah.
then?
Yeah, have you seen his
Go
actual
and
like
No.
textured face?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
quite scary.
It is actually. Well, when you think about
Go
it,
and try.
this is yeah, when you think about Skull Kids as a rule, it's quite tragic, really. It's like if you get lost in the forest,
Yeah.
it's your own fault. You're going to be a Skull Kid.
Yeah, it was,
I'm not really sure how. Is it
It's
because
some-
they die?
it was something to do with children being lost in the forest, wasn't it? Yeah.
Well, the
Okay.
Kokiri,
yeah.
because they're always
Oh
perpetual
yeah, it's
children, aren't they?
peculiar, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
They get lost in the forest, and then some like it's not really not really quite explained why, but they turn into these creepy
Yeah,
skull
I want to
kids.
know the process behind it. Is it like it slowly happens over time, or is it like when they die, or?
But it's just a game theory.
It's just
So anyway, you got a new 3DS.
Yeah, so I've only played a little bit of Majora's Mask 3D, which comes out tomorrow.
Excel.
New Legend of Zelda thingy.
Approved.
I was the wrong one, and then I forgot what that one was called. New Super Legend of Zelda
Ocarina of Mask.
Bros Mask 3DS.
So yeah, I'm gonna say I haven't had any of
Everything should be hand knuckles.
Yeah, exactly. Memes.
I have not grabbed a 3DS. I've wanted one for ages, but I've never had a chance to have one. So I'm completely new to. Like,
You've done a good job waiting and getting that one, to be honest, because
They've
screwed over people again by doing that. Basically. Oh, you got a 3DS, have you? Have you got a new one? Yeah. Do you want to play? I don't know. What's it? Xenoblade? Well, you can't. You need to buy a new one because it's got like a little stick on it.
Don't worry. Xenoblade.
Don't worry. I have no interest in Xenoblade.
but I'm really feeling it.
Yeah.
I'm really feeling it.
Yep. It's right time, baby. We're truly awake now. If you've listened this far, well done.
Oh, really? My leg.
Where was we?
Sorry about the 3DS.
I'm trying to get to the point where I haven't had a 3DS, so I'm all new to it. So I'm like, ooh, 3D. I'm like that. I'm like, wow. I love the fact that all the little menus do something cool. Like, I was looking at like.
Do they still go? Boop.
Yeah, they still make noises like
Yay.
that. But when I got to the one that's like the sound thing, I haven't actually.
Oh, the sound app with the little budgie.
It's little vinyl that spins around in all 3D. And the photo center's got all of the Polaroids all flying around in 3D.
Yeah.
It's all 3D.
I don't have to wear glasses or nothing.
And in the case of your one, you don't have to have it like at an exact position without it just going.
That is pretty good actually.
You have to explain how that works.
Yeah, you have to have a little look at it.
You said it's like for the head track.
You configure it, and the only thing that does sound annoying is you have to configure it differently for kids as well, because different like size.
Oh, okay.
But what I will say is I don't think I've got it 100% because like I don't know, there are certain. Like, I don't know, I think I might have to just keep configuring it until it kind of works.
Yeah.
But you can turn the stable 3D off, so you can just have it like normal.
Like it is on the old
Exactly,
PS.
yeah. So if it does keep annoying me, I will just turn it off. But I have noticed it does work though. I move my head around, I move the console slightly. You can't do it too much.
Okay.
So
the 3D still sort of like.
It does let you do gyro controls and like you go.
Is there like a bit of a delay if you like move it quite quickly and it sort of like catches up with you?
It does it quite fast, but one thing I do notice is it flashes a bit, and that kind of
sort of like
me
flickers
off.
a little bit. Yeah.
So if you move the console bit, it will sort of like it does like quick flickers.
Yeah, because it sort of does that on the original 3DS, but it just goes. So it goes from 3D and you move like a one friggin' like inch and it just goes boom, just blinks and then turns into like a blurry mess.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, like, I don't play a lot of handheld gaming anyway because I'm forever fidgeting and I can never get comfortable.
Yeah.
So on 3DS, I'll just be like, what?
Yeah. Well, luckily I can confirm it doesn't do that too much.
Did you say there's like a little miniature character on the screen when you configure it?
When you're configuring it, yeah, it's got like this kind of like motionless, like white blob of your sort of character. And I was just messing around. I could see it moving. I was like, oh, that looks funny. I went, what if I could just stalk the neck? And I sort of started moving my neck really bad, and it actually did it. It had like the face come away from the neck.
I think it'd be even funnier if it was your me doing it.
That would be amazing. Yeah, just.
Oh, it turns into Dylan.
You're a young.
You know, like what happens in our version.
Should we too on the Dreamcast, which we got. So yeah, literally, I've only just played the first 3 days of Majora's Mask, so I've done all that, like setting the game up basically, and I haven't had much chance to do any more. So when we get this podcast out of the way, I can play it, or not.
What do you think of how little, even though you've only played a little bit, what did you think of it so far compared to like the original?
Lovely. It looks really nice. They've done a couple of slight changes, some of which I don't agree with.
They put a new handguard on the lightsabers. I don't like the moon, and it seems so much less sinister.
Yeah.
It's a bit cartoony now.
Yeah, well, the whole game seems like it to me, from what I've seen of it. It's like the main selling point of Majora's Mask is how fucking creepy it is.
Yeah.
But this new game is all a bit colourful, I thought.
Really?
It's all a bit ding ding diddly ding 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 diddly.
You reckon?
Diddly diddly finger my bum. Yeah, or it's supposed to be.
I think what would have probably benefited it a bit is they tried to just
You've met with a terrible fate, haven't you? You've fallen down the stairs. He's actually in a coma.
Game theory. You've met with a terrible bum fate, haven't you?
Bum fate. It's like Kill Bill. My name's Burke, and I came to molest people in comas.
oh god.
Anyway, so
yeah, apparently it isn't just
And
the
then the
graphics
angry
they
face
upgraded. They actually
when
went
it
back and
speeds
tried to they actually tweaked quite a lot of the gameplay, didn't they?
Yeah, they have. Yeah, it's
there
still too early days for me. But what I will say is, graphically, I thought it looked really nice. But
Is
in
there
a
a
weird
sale
way,
that makes it go really fast?
What?
A special sale you can auction for that makes the boat go twice as fast.
I was talking about Wind Waker.
Yeah, you are.
That's a bit like if you ever get your hands on the Ocarina of Time 3D port, they improved like the water temple and stuff. Apparently, they
Really?
made it less bullshit. Apparently,
No, you can't fuck with it. That's what they did. Like they've done a couple of things, like you get the Bobber's Notebook too easily now.
oh okay.
Like the mask guy goes, one of the kids dropped this. Here you go. It's
Oh,
like,
really?
yeah, apparently it belonged to the Skull Kid, and he dropped it. It's like, fuck off. Just basically in the original version, you have to do like this little fucking about mini quest that you did. You did it
It's
before.
easy as piss.
Yeah,
and it's
you
not.
you
it's
just
quite
have to
fun.
do it again.
Yeah.
The other thing I got straight away, without the game even telling me, was the sword magic, which you had to go back and get the fairy again. Fairy.
I hope it's only the blue level and not the orange.
It is the blue, yeah.
Yeah.
The orange one you get from finishing one of the
Collecting all the fairies.
fairies.
The great.
Oh, actually, I do need to collect the fairy again because I'll get the mask.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Okay, fair
You get
Anyway, sorry, we're getting a bit too
you get the
there,
creepy
but basically,
mask.
yeah.
With, I'll point out that you notice the mouth is always open. With puckered lips.
Oh.
It's a special kind of mask. That laugh that she does.
You can collect. You can collect. Collect fairies. What was that second one? Sorry, no, nothing. It's just collect loads of fairies with it, yeah. And they'll be.
Why do you think the carpenter does that yelling thing?
What?
He's got his dick bitten off by the Great Fairy. And he's all like,
Yeah. Okay. Right.
Yep.
Sure thing.
Yep.
So yeah, basically one of the things that
I don't know.
made me laugh about it was, I don't know, it's like a HD texture pack was put over it.
Okay.
It was like, oh wow, yeah. But it was like, yeah, I don't know. I'm not saying it's a bad game. It's fucking awesome. But I've only played the first 3 days. But
Yeah.
it's too early for me to say. But by next podcast, I would have had a good old slog through it. So
Yeah.
I'll be able to
Oh, what?
let you know. Slog.
Is that a thing?
I wish that was on film.
I threw a thing at him. So yeah, that's what I've been playing this week, and yeah, whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
No big deal.
Just bought a new 3DS.
No, I don't care.
I don't care. I
I
don't
could
care.
buy 5. I just didn't want it.
That's not what you've been playing this week. That's what you've been playing this today.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
This
I
day.
haven't really been playing much for over the last 2 weeks, really. I've been sleeping. I've been whining. Loads of wanking. No wanking. No wanking. I'm joking. No wanking. No wanking.
Are you trying to convince Tom?
So, fuck, ow.
Oh.
On that bombshell, we'll be nearly dying.
Does that mean that Aaron is Richard Hammond?
Oh, please no.
Well, I suppose you could be James May, but then that would make me Richard Hammond.
I don't want to be James May either. I don't want to be any of them.
I like James May.
He's alright.
He buys train sets.
And opens them. They're all
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And honestly, man, what are you doing? And he's like, I'm going to play with my trains. No!
I'm going to play with these toys. Thank you.
That's a limited edition.
Yeah, James May's alright.
I've been Murry Curry.
No, dibs on James May. You can either be Hammond or a Subaru.
I think I'll be the Subaru.
I've been Murry Curry and I've been
That means you get
by...
ridden by celebrities. Your name is
Whatever.
Murry Curry. You're
Still better than
name's
being
Hammond.
Richard Hammond.
Thanks for listening. Bye.
He's been Murry Curry, never mind us, apparently. We don't matter.
Never mind those two buzzcocks.
Just sitting there talking shit.
Took a shit. Took a shit too,
I can breathe.
He's been Murry
Come on,
Curry.
outro.
He's been the Gag Man. I've been Flattheyounger.
And it's a good night from him.
Yeah, see ya. What the fuck was that?